Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Tech Productions. Today, I, Bancroft, am coming back with another 21 deck profile. Not just any 21 deck profile, this time we're going with the self-controlled Android 21. And like always, there is buttons. Feel free to click them there for a reason. And like always, thank you for tuning in. Now, Android 21 self-controlled. On the front side, it's a standard you swing, you draw one card. The Awaken, though, on this card is that if you have a blue-green multicolored card in your energy, and your life is 6 or less, you may draw one card, choose one energies, switch it to active mode, and flip this card over. So you can Awaken with 6 life, which is always nice, because that way it gives you kind of a jump start against your opponent. You can Awaken sooner. The problem, though, once you Awaken, you lose the ability to, on swing, draw one card. Now it's a little more tricky. So, auto, once a turn, when a card in your energy is placed in your drop area by one of your skills, draw one card, then choose up to one blue-green multicolored card in your drop area, add it to your energy in rest mode. At the start of your opponent's next main phase, choose up to one of your blue-green multicolored cards in your energy, and switch it to active mode. Now, that's always nice, because that way you can freely tap out during your turn, and then when going into your opponent's turn, always have one energy ready to go. And with blue being the way blue is, there's tons of way of resetting energy. So, that's the leader. In my opinion, any 21 deck, you should run 4 Super 17s. Mainly because this is a ideal turn 1 charge card. Because it's permanent. If your leader card is blue 21, negate this card's energy exhaust. So that way, always you play this one on turn 1 and be perfectly fine. Unlike the Android 17, I think it's Protector of the Wildlife, if I'm correct, where as long as there's another blue-green card in your energy, it ignores energy exhaust. So a little bit better. I like to play this one in that rate. If you get up to 7 energy, you can do it to activate main for 2 blue, 2 green, and 3 whatever. You can play this card from your energy and then play the 3 other androids from your energy if energy costs 5 or less, which is pretty nice. This is not a ramp version of the deck though, so I do not play the Android 16 that helps you ramp. That's okay. I wanted to go I was trying to focus on a more aggro build for this one because I just did the other 21 and I was focusing on ramping on that. So it's a little bit different. You could definitely go the ramp route, and by the end of this video, I'll kind of explain the purpose or the cards you could switch out for Android 16 if you wanted to. So once you charge your Super 17, a turn 1 go-to is always Android 18 Speed Substitution because it allows you to search the top 5 cards of your deck for a blue or green Android card and add it to your hand. And then at the end of your turn, you can return the Android 17 back to your hand and then play another card in your energy and rest mode. So it allows you kind of cycle certain cards through, which is always nice. And cards to look for on Android 18, because I'm not playing the ramp version, I play only 2 of the Bad Omens because, you know, if I get my point down to 1 life, boom, just play here and we're good to go. This is an ideal card on turn 1 too. If Bad Omen's in my hand, return 17 to my hand and then charge her instead. So, it works. Now getting to what this deck likes to do. Android 16, a new start. This is the expert deck version of this card where it's practically free to play. So activate main, choose one blue-green multicolored card in your energy, place it in your drop area, then play this card from your hand. Now keep in mind, you need to play this after you've awakened, because if you do this before you're awakened, you will not get that energy back. But it's a free play battle card, 15k. It does have a revive blue-green, so I mean, if your opponent wants to push on it and you want to keep it alive, you're more than welcome to do it. But once you've sent that energy to your drop area, you can turn around though and play Android 16 Mechanical Prowess, which is a blocker. It's permanent. You only have one of them on the board at a time, though. And the auto is when this card is in your energy. When a card in your energy is placed in your drop area by one of your skills, you may play this card from your hand. So, for pitching the energy, getting energy back using the Awaken the Leader, not only playing 1 card, but you're playing 2 cards. Another card to look for with the Android 18 is Android 17 Restraint Support. I absolutely love this card. So, activate main for 2 blue energy. If your leader card is mono blue, play this card from your hand and add to 1 card from your life to your hand. So it helps you self-awaken if you're not to that point yet. But this is where this card comes in handy. Not only is it a 20k beater, but activate main once per turn. Place 1 blue-green multicolored card from your energy to your drop area. Choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. There is no limitation on what card that can be. So as long as it doesn't have barrier, you KO that battle card. And then that will proc the leader's ability, it procs mechanical prowess, so very handy. Next choice will be Android 18, Full of Rage. Arrival blue-green for 1 blue energy. Auto, when you play this card, you cannot play another one for the duration of turn. The Activate Battle, on the other hand, though, is where the card kind of pays off. Return this card to its owner's hand, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 4 or less, return it to its owner's hand. So, as long as the battle card's energy cost 4 or less, no barrier, you can pop back to their hand, especially if your opponent's trying to go for a game. Do be careful. I know I made a misplay in Minor Fluff's game. We just overlooked it. One of his battle cards had barrier. We popped it back. But just look out for that stuff. You'll be perfectly fine. But you can play this during your turn and then send it back to your hand and then replay it on your opponent's same turn and use the effect again if you need to get rid of potentially 2 threatening cards. And the last Android that I play in this deck, if correct, is the one from the Battle Evolutions, which is Android 18, Let the Battle Begin. It is a blocker counterplay. If the card, play this card, then the battle card being played with energy cost 4 or less is placed at the bottom of its owner's deck instead of being played. Permanent is that if your leader card is Android or Heroine, and you have a unison in play with a specific cost of 2 or more, and your opponent's turn reduces this card's energy by 3. So it's a 1 cost counterplay for a battle card 4 or less with blocker. I mean, you stop a threat from coming in, and then now you can stop another threat from hitting your leader. And because this requires a unison to go off of, the one I chose to go with is the Xeno unison. Alright, Xeno for 2 choices. Now, there could be definitely better plays for unisons. I went with the Xeno because it's +2. If I wanted to, so you can do +2 activate main, and it allows you to take the top card of your deck, put it into your energy, then you can't charge any more energy for the remainder of your turn, and then you place that card into your drop area at the end of your turn. If you choose to do the +2 and go ahead and activate the main with it, at the end of your turn, the bouncing the energy back to your drop will trigger the auto on the leader. Now, granted, you won't be able to charge off the leader, but allow you to draw and reset energy as well. So if you, for some reason, don't see any more 17s, you don't see any 16s that allow you to kind of like do that, you're still good to go with this unison. And because this is blue and we are playing a unison, we play for the God Stealing Trunks, which just pops a battle card, or sorry, it returns a battle card being played back to your owner's hand. I mean, yeah. So next in my super combos, I'm going 2 of the Vegetas, which 4 or less life. You bottom a card, draw 2. It helps you cycle cards. So I'm seeing the cards I want to see. And I went 2 of the Bionic Blitz, which when you combo with this card, your opponent has to bottom deck a card. And truly, I only play the 2 of because I'm only really playing 2 arrivals. And so this is another choice to search with Speedy Substitution as well. To help modulate my energy, this is more of a tech choice. I play 2 Master Roshis. When you combo, so choose 1 multicolored card in your energy, return it to its owner's hand. When you combo with this card, choose 1 card in your hand and place it in your energy in rest mode. So it's another way of just kind of getting the bad omens into my energy if I see them later in the game. I went with 2 Aboonies. I mean, it creates 3 Afterimage tokens. This card cannot be KO as long as there's tokens in play. And activate main, your opponent reveals top card of your deck. If it's a battle card, at the beginning of your opponent's main phase, you get to restand 1 blue energy. So combining that with the leader's ability, you can potentially restand 2 energy every turn as long as you have the Aboonie on board. This next card I kind of tacked in there because of our locals. We have a lot of people who play Black Mass Saiyan, the 1-drop that if you play like a battle card with energy cost, or power, yada yada, pitch 2 cards. So for 2 energy, I draw 2 cards, and I get to KO one of my opponent's battle cards of energy cost of 1. So it is definitely a tech choice. It could definitely be taken out for another Aboonie, another 17 cards that you know you want to see to get the leader's effect off, cards you want to go wide with the board as well. And keep in mind, Aboonie doesn't have, I didn't mention earlier, doesn't have unique, so you can have more than 1 on the board. So if you have more ways of resending energy, more to you. But I do like this card for our locals, though. Next, we're going to our kind of protection route. 2 Heroic Prospects. The problem with this card is that our current locals have a lot of decks that going very wide very quickly, so a lot of low-cost cards are out on the board. So by the time this card is important, it's too late. Because to reduce energy cost by 2, you do need to have a Unison on board. During your opponent's turn, if you have a Unison in play, reduce energy cost by 2. So we won't get the Unison until turn 2. So then your opponent's turn 2 or potentially turn 3. Most times you're going second with this deck. At least I've been going second a lot. My opponent already has 3 energy, and the battle cards they're playing are energy cost 3 or less. Now, this card can definitely come in handy against very tall decks like Red Broly, Dark Broly, and stuff like that. So it does have its purpose. I like it a lot. I feel like it's definitely something that needs to be sideboard out against most current decks that just likes to go wide very quickly. But it is a 15k beater on the board. Sensimine, pay 1, restand 2 blue energy. Restand 2 energy, gives a card 5,000k. Likes to use this as a defensive strategy instead. Helps out a lot. Dimension Magic. Restands 2 energy, negates the attack. You can sparking this if you have 5 or more cards in your drop. Last but not least is the secret rare of choice. The problem with this deck is that you cannot include battle cards of energy cost 6 or original cost of 6 or more. So with that being said, you can't really play any secret rares. There's only, I think, 2 options. One is the negative energy balls, which is a extra card, or the one I went with, Heroine's Lineage. The ability to steal an opponent's card, especially if it's a very late game or a very tall card, is very nice because it gets me a battle card on the board that I know is strong, or it gets rid of a potential threat. I know one of my games with Fluff, we kind of did the back and forth. He stole my card, I stole it back because I really liked the card. But, for 1 energy, you can pretty much steal anything with no barrier. You can't go wrong with that card. The Activate Main is practically useless in my deck. Only option I have, I think, is her. Because she has naturally the Heroine tagline, where none of the other 18s does in this deck. So I'll never end up using that 5. But yeah, that's Self-Control 21. Hope you all enjoyed. If you have your own take on this deck, please put in the comments down below. I would like to see different varieties of this one, because when building it, I was like, I forgot all about the permanent. I'm like, oh yeah, it's 6 or under you can include. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to include the 16s. I'm going to do this. It'll be awesome. And I was like, wait. Oh no, there's so many good cards I can't play anymore. So, like I said earlier, on cards that you could take out, you could remove those out there. You could thin some of these other cards down. Roshis are always great to have, but you could definitely take them out and add the 16s in there. You can reduce some the Heroic Prospect's really good in my opinion, so you probably don't want to get rid of that. Bring down Sensimine 1 could help out, adding more of the gates that play the 16s from hand. Maybe going down 1 on Trunks if you want to. But removing the Arrivals will probably be pretty good as well. Getting rid of the Bionic Blitz could help. And putting in the other super combos to allow you to see cards more quickly. That's if you want to go, in my opinion, a more rampy version. But, I'm kind of talking a little too much, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you all for tuning in. Like always, hit those buttons. They're there for a reason. Read your cards, know your plays, and fluff out.